Okay, now let us discuss about the major or the important part of the respiration, cellular respiration. So why I am calling this as an important part of the respiration? Because the main objective of the respiration is fulfilled at this stage, that is the cellular respiration. It is the process in which energy is released from the food components like glucose. So release of energy is the main objective of respiration. People respire, organisms respire to get energy. So respiration is a kind of combustion reaction in which energy is released, heat is released. So let us see where this cellular respiration takes place. Cellular respiration, as the name states, that it takes place inside the cell. The respiration takes place inside the cell. We cannot tell this respiration as a single step reaction. It involves a series of reactions, number of reactions. So that if you see the cellular respiration in prokaryotes, so you know prokaryotes, these are the single-celled organisms which do not have distinct cell organelles. They do not have a distinct nucleus and distinct cell organelles. Like you take bacteria. So in bacteria also a respiration takes place. So where does it takes place? It takes place in the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm in prokaryotes. If you see the eukaryotes, eukaryotic cell, if you see, in the eukaryotic cell there are special organelles called as mitochondria. So the cellular respiration takes place in the cytoplasm as well as mitochondria. So in both the places it takes place in eukaryotic organisms. And the respiration, the cellular respiration, is of two different types depending upon the availability of oxygen. So far we studied that the gas called oxygen is very, very essential for cellular respiration. But in some cases, this cellular respiration takes place in absence of oxygen even, because certain organisms, they survive in absence of oxygen in such conditions. And sometimes even in organisms like humans, sometimes respiration should take place in absence of oxygen. So the respiration that takes place in presence of oxygen with the reaction of oxygen, it is called aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration. And the second type of the respiration that takes place in absence of oxygen, no oxygen, this is called as anaerobic respiration. Sometimes it is called as fermentation. Fermentation. So anaerobic respiration, and sometimes depending upon the byproduct it gives out, it is called as fermentation. So these kind of two different types of cellular respiration we observe. And I told you the site of respiration, where the cellular respiration takes place inside the cell. In case of prokaryotes, the cellular respiration takes place in the cytoplasm, whereas in case of eukaryotes, it takes place in the cytoplasm and mitochondria as well, in both the places. So we discussed that in eukaryotes, the cellular respiration takes place in the cytoplasm as well as in the mitochondria. So let us get some more clarity on this. So where does it take place in the cytoplasm? And the process, a part of the cellular respiration takes place in the cytoplasm. So in the statement, it takes place both in the cytoplasm as well as in the mitochondria. It doesn't mean that sometimes it takes place in the cytoplasm, sometimes it takes place in the mitochondria. The meaning of that statement is that The total process is a series of reactions. The cellular respiration is a set of reactions. Among those set of reactions, a few set of reactions takes place in the cytoplasm, and some products are formed here, and these products, they enter mitochondria, and the remaining chain of reactions takes place in the mitochondria till energy is liberated, because it is the ultimate aim of respiration, energy plus carbon dioxide plus water vapor. So where the energy is released, that is in the mitochondria, the energy is released. So mitochondria are the cell organelles that takes part in the cellular respiration, which are responsible for the release of energy, large volumes of energy in the mitochondria. So the energy from the food materials or food molecules is generated in the mitochondria. So we call mitochondria as powerhouse of the cell. We call this mitochondria as powerhouse of the cell, because the power, the energy is generated here. So in which form the energy is generated? In which form the energy is available to the cells to carry out their activities? We have seen how the solar energy is fixed in the plants in nutrition chapter. The solar energy is trapped by the chlorophyll, and it is used to split the water, and thereafter that energy is stored in some molecules. So the energy is stored in the molecules called ATP, which are later used for the production of glucose. So here also, when the food molecules are converted into some other compounds in the process of cellular respiration, in this conversion, in this chain of reactions, energy is liberated, and that energy is stored in the form of energy rich molecule called as ATP.